Well, welcome to Game Club, episode 13. Today we're talking about the game Thumper.
Thumper.
I love
Not to be confused with the baby Thumper.
Yeah,
I mean Bambi Thumper.
You just ruined that joke. I feel like we should start over.
No.
We're not starting over, though. We're going to move forward, just like Thumper does. So the game developer, by the way, Thumper is developed by game company Drool, also self-published. You can find it on Steam, PC, and PS4. Also PS4 VR. I forgot to check if it's on Oculus or Vive. It probably is on Vive if it's on Steam,
yeah,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
That would make sense to me. I don't think it's on Xbox.
I didn't check,
or at
so
least
I'm
not yet.
Sure about that.
But it's described by the developer as a rhythm violence game. And I kind of get what they're saying with violence, but I give you the wrong idea. There's no blood in it. There's no hacking or gore. It's not that sort of violence. It's more of like the presence or the sense of violence. It's a very visceral game.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just get the vote out right now. I loved playing it. How about you guys?
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing this game. It was, at first I was kind of worried about it, but then after playing it a couple minutes, I was really into it. It was
Hooks
great.
you fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I downloaded it without even reading any of the stuff. It was like, all right, here we go. And then the first few minutes, you're just like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? And then after a while, I didn't even know like the music goes to it. I didn't realize it was a rhythm game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, hey, those drums kind of line up with the soundtrack.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man, I love the feel of playing the game, what it visually and orally does to you. It's awesome.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Chris said it's one of the prettiest games he's played, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
what he said?
absolutely. It's so beautiful. It's one of those games that really makes me want to buy a VR set.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's for VR, and that's as I was playing, I was just like, man, I feel like I should just stop playing this, buy a VR headset, and come back to this later.
Yeah,
because it is so beautiful, and like the speed and all the crazy geometry happening around you. That'd just be 10 times better on the VR headset, I imagine.
And I want to add that the animation on it's really freaking good, man. Like the lights and it's just when you move your character, like the little wings come up. I don't even know what exactly it is, but it looks really amazing. And then just kind of like the flash on the lights and stuff like that looks great. As you're moving along. And
what people aren't getting from our video because they're hearing us speak instead of hearing the game is that there's a really visceral sort of drum music to it, and if you're performing the things you're supposed to do correctly, it just adds to that, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. In fact, my only real complaint about the game is I wish they had doubled down on the drums. So that when you did
they're a little faint sometimes.
Yeah, they're a little faint, and I'd like for like the things that you do. So not on Xbox. So I would have liked for the things that you do or accomplish while you're playing to have a bit more of a hefty sound to it.
Yeah.
But I still loved it. I love that. That's a small criticism about how I would have gone from liking it a lot to liking it even more.
Yeah.
Right? I've played about half of the game so far, and the music and the visuals, they don't thematically change too much, at least up until halfway through the game. So I don't know if by the time I'm done with the game, I might be a little sick with the visual design. But so far, I'm not. I like it. But I just need to mention that they don't change things up. You don't go to like World 2 and like it's all new color palette and all new like backgrounds. It's not really like that.
So it's more challenging then, you would say?
Honestly, from as far as I've played, which is about halfway through the game, it just incrementally adds to what you're doing. You never feel like you ever like reboot where you're like, okay, I've left that area, I've left that behind me, and now it's time to learn a new tool set or anything like that. It's just always incrementally adding. Even the music feels kind of incremental and how that gets like.
Isn't this a great example of what an indie game can do well?
Exactly. Like do one thing awesomely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just the creativity and the art, the music. You don't need a giant studio if you have a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just like instead of using small nuances here and there, like the level bosses are just like these awesome faces. They're so cool, very horrific. I imagine with VR the bosses would be really intimidating looking when they're all up close in your face like that.
And I noticed myself staring at the faces as I was playing and
And
realizing that I was messing up. Yeah, so I was like enjoying the art, but at the same time, I was like, oh man, I got to keep playing.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that makes me love indie games.
Yeah. I remember when trying to beat the boss of the second level, I died so many times, but it never bothered me to just keep looping and playing and playing and playing and playing. I was having so much fun with the music, with the rhythm, with the visual appeal, with that crazy face in the background that dying was like was a non-issue. Just being able to redo all of that over and over again was actually quite stimulating.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
And I also want to add that the game does a really good job of just introducing you to the mechanics as you move along with the game. Like you said, it's incremental, right?
Right.
So like in the first world, you kind of learn most of the mechanics that you're kind of seeing here, Chris playing in the video. And as soon as something new is being introduced to you, they kind of get you used to it, and then they kind of let go of that. And then on your own, you're just kind of doing it all by yourself, and it's pretty easy to pick up. So you can start the game right away and, kind of get that introduction into it pretty seamlessly. And also, I like that the levels, like, for example, you go from 1-1, you go on to 1-2, there's no loading time.
Yeah.
It's just like a seamless experience that you're constantly moving forward. So it's really good.
And every once in a while, there's a bit of a slowdown between sections where for about like 15, 20 seconds, it's just some visual like candy while and it's like the perfect like moment between like the nutsness of the game. And I really like that. Pro tip, I was playing on the PS4 and I started with using the joystick to go left and right and forward and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was working fine, but I was dying. And because I died a few times in a row, I decided to switch to the D-pad and I was way better.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if that's just my experience or if that's just good advice
D-pad's
overall.
probably quicker than the stick.
So definitely suggest, if your experience is going to be like mine, I totally suggest using the D-pad.
Especially once those turns start coming really fast.
Yeah, they get ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This is kind of a weird compliment, but it's a true one. It brought me back to like just the overall, the music, the feel, the darkness. It brought me back to the way I used to feel watching like 80s anime. Like if you watch like 80s and early 90s anime before it became really like cartoony focused. Yeah. I know it was like much more dark and visceral. Like it felt like that. It brought me back to that feeling, and I didn't even realize I had been missing that feeling. Yeah. Because I haven't watched that sort of anime in a long time. I haven't watched really much anime at all in a long time. Yeah. But playing this game, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta watch like the Ghost in the Shell movies and Akira, and gotta watch like the Macross Plus movie that has this really like dark drummy music. Nice. Or like Ninja Scroll, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is bringing me back. I gotta do it. I gotta go back.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because when I was playing this game, it brought back nostalgia of playing F-Zero on the SNES. Yeah. And I was like, man, I really want to play F-Zero now. But, I still enjoyed this game, and I still love this game. I mean, it's just that great, I think. It kind of brings back a couple of nostalgia memories for me.
Yeah. Even when you die, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So let's get to our vote. To remind everybody, our vote basically works. You either suggest don't buy it, or next better than that is buy it on sale. Yeah. Or better than that, buy it full price, which is $19.99 on the PS4 at least. But that comes with the VR version as well. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you play on the PS4, if you put on the PSVR, it's the same game. You don't have to buy it twice. Or go the extra mile and support the developer beyond just buying it, getting a soundtrack or DLC if there is any of that in the future. So let's start with Chris. Where do you fall on that?
I say buy it full price and then kick in for the soundtrack, because it's such an integral part of what it is.
All right. All in over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. I like the soundtrack as well. So I would definitely support them in that way as well, for sure.
I liked the soundtrack a lot, and I could see why you guys would make that suggestion. I kind of felt like $19.99 was a little much. I kind of wish it was more of a $14.99 game. Okay. But again, so I'm thinking I could definitely support full price, especially if you have a VR headset. I think if I played this on VR, that I would have been heads over heels, totally in love. Yeah. So I'm going to say it's totally worth the $19.99. And if you got a VR headset, you might want to kick in the extra bucks, because you're getting the VR stuff for free. Yeah. So that's going to be my vote.
All right.
Cool. The next game is going to be next week, Owlboy. So
like OWL.
yeah, OWLBOY. I think it's one word in the case of this game. And it's got a pretty interesting story about its development. We'll get into that next week, and we'll play it. And it's getting great reviews, so I can't wait to play it myself. I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit expensive. Sorry about that. It's like $25.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's worth every penny.
Yep.
And please look out for us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share if this was a good video for you. Find us on Facebook. Also, send us any kind of email you'd like at fandwgameclub@gmail.com. And find us on Twitter. All of that's in the description. Have a good day.